Hi, family of God. I'm so honored to be here today to talk to you about relational wisdom. I've been through some relational things and I have learned a lot about handling relationships. So I'm going to start with the first point that I wanted to talk to you about. And actually, God dropped this into my mind, and He's like, it's really important that we know who we are. It's really important that you know your identity. Jesus, I think he was 12 when he was at the temple talking to the priests. He already knew who he was. He already knew what his destiny was. He knew who he was. It's very important that you know who you are and you stand firm in that, because that's a powerful thing when you know who you are. The second thing that I wanted to talk about is what Jesus talked about in the commandments in the New Testament. We are supposed to, and I'm paraphrasing, we are supposed to love God with everything in us. Every single thing in us, we love God. And the second thing he talked about is how we're supposed to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. Those two commandments that's a pretty strong language, right? And so we wake up loving ourselves, loving our neighbor, loving God every day, every day. Know your identity and keep those two commandments. That's important in relational wisdom. Second thing is bandwidth. We cannot be everyone's best friend. It's impossible. We're all sons and daughters. We are probably mothers and fathers. We might be grandmas and grandpas, and we're husbands and wives probably. We have a lot of family, and that takes up a lot of our time, and that's okay. That's amazing. Family should be everyone's metron. It should be one of your metrons for sure. But it also does not leave us a lot of time for extra people in our lives. But extra people in our lives are very, very important. We value everyone, we love everyone, but we have to find a way to figure out who sits at our table, because everybody brings something to the table, right? Who do we need to sit at our table? What is your passion? What do you value in life? What are you going for? You need to find like-minded people and yoke up with them. Or if you want to use the word covenant, that's good too. Make a covenant with them. First, I'm going to recommend that you date them first. Yes, I'm married. I have a husband, but I'm talking about if I see someone that seems to be moving in the same direction as I am, and they have the same passions as I do, I'm going to say, hey, do you want to have coffee? Just so I can feel that out. Like, does she need to be sitting at my table? You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to be really, really, really strategic here. And that's how God wants us to be strategic. Anyway, next, I'm trying to hurry because my last video is way too long. Let's see. So yes, wake up every morning with your vision on your mind, and then purposely go through the day thinking about that vision, because we're never going to succeed or get to our destiny without people. So we do need to find the right people to sit at the table that we're sitting at, right? Okay. Enjoy your journey, enjoy the relational journey. I also want to talk to you about another thing. Okay. So Jesus, we're called to love one another. Okay. I'm going to give you an example of what Jesus did. Okay. Peter denied Jesus 3 times. That's the last thing Jesus saw Peter doing before he was hung on the cross, right? Before he died on the cross for us. Last thing, Peter denying him. The first thing Jesus does when he arises from the dead, Jesus is looking for Peter. What did Peter do after Jesus died? After 3 years of being with him in ministry, 3.5 years of walking with Jesus in ministry, Peter says, I'm going fishing. He's going right back to where he came from. He's backsliding. He's going right back. He's going fishing. So he's out there fishing and everything. Jesus rises from the dead. What's one of the first things Jesus does? Jesus goes to the water and he finds Peter. That's love. You know, people aren't perfect. Friends aren't perfect. But if you're running the same direction, you've made a covenant with them, you keep running with them no matter what. Like, there's grace. Everyone's different. Everyone has different giftings. Everyone thinks differently. There's grace. Another key that I've learned, and this is big time wisdom, is be unoffendable. If you are having a problem with what someone's done or said, that is your problem, not theirs. Okay. Like I just said, we're all different. We all think differently. God's created us all differently. We're all running different directions. If you get offended, you need to look on the inside of you and ask yourself, why am I offended? Because that's not my problem. That's your problem. All right. So I have made it my life goal to be unoffendable. Like grace abounds. Do not take offense to anything. Let's see what else. I wanted to talk about yoking, but I think I might be running out of time. There's two different kinds of yoking. There's a yoking when you are younger, and well, say there's this big, huge bull, right? You yoke this baby bull, and when the baby bull turns to be, 2,500 pounds, it's going to stay in the same place. Like, the yoking, it won't be able to move, even though that bull can bust out of that yoke, right? But let me tell you this, if you're yoked to someone that is not kind and that is not speaking life into you, if they're speaking death into you, if you're yoked to someone that is not valuing what you bring to the table, then you're yoked to the wrong person. And you do not have to stay yoked. You do not have to stay yoked. I'm not talking about marriages right now. I'm talking about like friendships. Okay. And so the last thing I want to say is, oh, there's another yoking too, and it's a balance. Okay. This goes with what I'm saying. It's where you put a stick on your shoulders and you've got water on each side, and the water's pretty the same level. There's a balance. So when I had salvation only and I didn't know what the kingdom was, I would there was this diagram. There were 3 circles, in each other. The first circle was Jesus, you stay closest to Jesus. The second circle was Jesus's disciples. And it's kind of a way to show you, 3 or 4 friends. Jesus's disciples were the crazy ones. Like I often wondered, why did Jesus pick these guys for his inner circle? But wow, did they become powerful, right? Anyway, he saw in the future what they were becoming, and they were running the same way. So that's amazing. But I'm just distracted. Anyway, the outer circle was the rest of the 12 disciples, right? So I think that's awesome. That's an awesome place to start. Okay. But let me present another, and I'm going to put a picture up here with my video, but let me present another circle diagram for you. And it reads a little differently. I got this idea from Brian Orm and Drew Neal, but I changed it up because they were doing a business presentation. I'm changing this for a kingdom presentation, right? Okay, so say the middle circle is Jesus. Jesus is still in there, but it's also mothers, fathers, and mentors, okay? Those are people that you let speak into your life. Correction, identity, you let people speak into your life. The middle circle is partners. They're your partners that you're going to partner with. They're going to help you bring your vision and your passion to fruition, right? So they're like your life partners. They're the people that you really want to be yoked to. They're the people that you want to build communion and community with. They're the people that you want to make a covenant with. Covenants are beautiful. They're the people that you've dated and you know that you're running the same way. Okay. You've got to date people before you make this covenant with people. The last ring of that circle is inheritors. They are the people that inherit what I've received. They inherit what I've learned from my editors, the mentors in my life, and from Jesus. They inherit what I've learned from my life group, from my group that is bringing life and passion, like going after that with me. The inheritors are the ones that glean from my wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that I have learned over the years. Okay. So if you are overpopulated in one of those areas, then you're underpopulated in one too. It's a balance act. You have to balance it all, right? And I didn't even put family on that chart. Some of your family might be in some of those sections. Spiritual family is completely in those sections because you want mentors, you want fathers, and you want mothers in the kingdom. So that is really a thing. And I'm going to post a picture because it makes more sense when you see it on the diagram that I drew. So that is relational wisdom. I could talk about this for probably another, 45 minutes. I love relationships. I used to be horrible at them, horrible, but I've gotten really good at relationships. And I am very proud to say that I have built some really strong relationships in all 3 of those areas. And I'm very excited about this fast that we're doing. I'm a little bit caffeine deprived, but that's okay. Anyway, you guys have an amazing week, and we'll see you on Sunday.